Hi, I'm Jennet Ingle, the 5-minute Reedmaker, and today I'm going to talk about shaping a piece of oboe cane. Now, I just watched a great shaping video by Jonathan Marsleff. He's super clear and he's super helpful and he explains everything that he does. And it's fascinating how different his techniques actually are from mine. I think of shaping as a really basic process, something that although you can screw it up, it doesn't take long to learn and anyone can do it. But it surprised me how many differences we had. I would like to be clear that I'm not going to contradict his methods. They're great and they're smart and they clearly work for him. I have my own way of doing this and I've gotten questions about it, and so I'm happy to show you here because seeing alternatives is important and it helps you to make the choice that's right for you. My own priority in the shaping process is speed and accuracy. I'm not that concerned with aesthetics and I do not have time for fussiness. So I don't pre-scrape the cane in any way, and I don't worry about the precise perfection of the top crease. I don't even own an easel anymore. I just found that anything I could do on the easel I could do faster by hand and eye alone. So after I've soaked my cane for 15 to 30 minutes, I just get started. First of all, I don't measure, I just sort of eyeball where the center of the cane is, like so, and bend it in half. The first fold is important though. It looks effortless because I do it in one gesture, but if you try to do it without scoring it, which I do, you're apt to either crack the cane or wind up with too round an opening. The cane is round, obviously, but the crease is going to be flat. Your goal is a flat fold. So I'll wiggle it a little to make sure it has flexibility, and then I'll flatten it against my knife using my thumb like so, and then I can fold a flat thing rather than a round thing. Didn't mean to drop it. Okay. Now, of course, I have to cut off the corners to fit it onto my shaper, and I admit that I'm not very concerned about perfection here. I want to take the same amount off on both sides, and I do the best I can with my knife, like so. Here, and here. Do it again, checking my framing so that you can actually see it, I hope. And then hopefully that will fit between the ears of my shaper. I get a lot of questions, or I've gotten a lot of questions recently, about pushing the cane all the way down onto the shaper, like so, rather than lining it up with the top of the ears, like so. I think I get a very consistent result by pushing the cane all the way down onto the shaper until it won't go any further down. And with the shapes I use, I have no problem with this technique. The rumor I've heard, and I'd love someone to confirm this, is that the Mac shapes specifically are too narrow as they are made. And so if you shape on those tips by lining up your crease with the ears, placing your cane higher, you'll get the more correct version of the shape. In a very small experiment I tried with a reading circle attendee, this did seem to hold true. But those Mac shapes, the Pfeiffer Mac, the Mac Plus, the Mac Double Plus, etc., they're not the ones I use, and I am happy with my own system, with my shapes. Certainly it's worth running the experiment in your own reed making though, right? If you set your cane high on the shaper, you'll end up with a slightly wider part of the shape, and maybe that's what you want. That's not what I do. To do the actual shaping, I use a plain razor blade, like so, and I sharpen it lightly on a stone before each piece of cane. I will keep a razor blade going for days, reed after reed after reed, as long as it will cut smoothly. Now you see that I've got a big block of wood here that I just like swiped from my garage after a construction project. I like to have my shaper based on something strong, based on something firm and solid, to keep it in place, to keep everything consistent. And I've found that I used to do it on a cutting block, but I damaged the block. I've damaged some desks and some tables, so now I have a nice big old block of junk wood that I can use. I always shape backward from the ear toward the bottom of the cane. You can't go the wrong way or you'll catch the grains and you'll be apt to cut into it and you get a leaky reed or a damaged reed. I also try to take a few passes to do this. I don't go all the way down to the metal of the tip in one pass. My first one is just a long scrape. My second one digs a little deeper. And by the third one, I'm trying to reach in pretty hard right here and cut into the ears area. And I'm trying to stay right along the metal here. I'll do this on the other side. I hope it's visible through my screen. Basically, I'm doing this maneuver, like so. I'll cut a long one, I'll cut another long one, and now I'll get right down to the middle. I check my work by feel, just with my thumbs on the side of the shape, rather than by eye for the most part. Now this process does leave ears on the shaped piece of cane. You can see them here and here. I usually cut them off after I wind the reed. I wind it straight on and straight on the same day in the same soaking session usually, and then I'll cut off the ears once it's wound on. I feel that I have better control that way. It's also just a habit. I'm comfortable with it, and so that's what I do. I do not trim the ends of my cane down here before I wind them onto the reed. I don't think that it makes any difference actually to the ultimate function of the reed, and I don't really care about the aesthetic of that smooth thread compared to the time that it takes to do. Now, I do hope that this video has been helpful. This has been a 5-minute Reedmaker lesson. You can follow these short videos right here on YouTube, and you can subscribe if you wish. If you have questions or concerns, you can find me at jennetingle.com. In fact, I'd love to hear what else I can help you with and what my next short video should address. Please let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.